Hello, and thank you for coming to the McWaters Effect. I'm your host, Matt, and today we're going to be talking about Joe Biden's $1 billion forgiveness loan student debt. Now, first thing I want to talk about is what was the difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. Now, when Donald Trump became president, he changed the student loan forgiveness program by using only fraud and if the school closed to forgive loans. It was his administration, part of the education department, that decided to do that in order to try to save taxpayer money. Now I'd like to start on what Biden's administration is doing differently. Now in this story it says Biden cancels $1 billion of student loan. That's true, and at the same time, it's not true. And the reason I'm saying that is because it depends on how the formula he is making goes with. It also depends on how many people are part of that formula. By what the number's saying, it's going to be $1 billion, and it'll cancel 42,000 student loans. And what the difference is between it and what Trump's administration was doing is it's made it more broad. It's more inclusive. By having, like going after banks that are misleading the people that are taking loans and going after people committing fraud as well. And as well as also going after people that are doing identity theft as well. And here's a perfect example of loaners misleading students about their student loans. A judge recently found out that Navient, which serviced $3 billion of student loans, misled the students in order to give them the loan. Now, something else that was another part of his plan as well that they already enacted in the recent COVID relief bill was a tax-free student loan when a student loan was forgiven, which is crazy to me because you're telling me I'd have to pay taxes on it anyway, even though the student loan's forgiven? I still got to pay tax on it? That don't make any damn sense to me. Another thing Biden wants to do is he wants there to be $10,000 student loan forgiveness per student. Now, I have a video showing you some of the Democrats in the Senate and the House have something different in mind from what Joe Biden wants, and I want you to see it.
President Joe Biden disagrees with other members of his party who want to cancel $50,000 of student loan debt per borrower. Biden says the federal government shouldn't forgive debt of people who went to elite universities. Other Democrats argue the $10,000 Biden is suggesting doesn't go far enough. The president says he does support making community college free for everyone and four-year public universities free for students from families making less than $125K a year. Right now, federal student loan payments and interest are on pause, a COVID relief benefit enacted last year and extended this year. Katie Johnston for CBS Local News.
Now, there's something else I want to talk about. According to statistics, there are still 45 million people that have borrowed student loans, which collectively, they owe $1.7 trillion in loan debt. That means even with $1 billion, and the plan, $10,000 per student, it just scratches the surface. It takes about not even a third away from what's owed. It changes it from 1.7 to 1.2. All right, I'll be quite honest with you. I'm actually for forgiving student debt. Now, you also got to tackle the issue of why student debt's happening. But first thing is, the last COVID bill we had would have been a perfect opportunity to put it in there. Now, I'm not. What I'm saying is, all the stuff that's in there for states to get back on their feet and stuff like that didn't need to be in there. I would have took all that out, put $1,400 for each person, and then after that, I would have had the rest of it go to pay student debt. That would have been a stimulus. And the next thing I want to talk about is what is the root cause of student debt. And it's plain and simple. The universities, how much it costs to actually go to these schools. I looked it up. For Yale, which is one of the top schools in the country, it costs almost $58,000 to go. That's not including room and board, books, and other stuff you need. So it's closer to $80,000 a year. Then I looked at Texas A&M, a little bit lower down school. Good football program though, but when it comes to education, they're a little bit lower down than Yale. It cost just to go there $12,500. That's not including room and board and everything else. And then in some states, it's actually free to go to community college, and community college is decently cheap. I went to community college. I don't have student debt because I paid for my classes as I went. I know not everybody could do that, but it's an option for some people. And in a lot of states, they've actually made it where community college is free. West Virginia is one of them. My opinion, you shouldn't be going to like a Yale or a Harvard or something like that for a liberal arts degree or a PE degree or a business degree. That's somewhere, if you want to get that, you can get that at community college. But you don't need to go all the way to Yale and pay that much money for that. 4 years for a liberal arts degree and you pay $200,000 for it, that's crazy. When you go to community college and pay anywhere from $20,000 to $0 for it. And the other thing is maybe they should try to start I hate to say it, maybe government should start trying to put caps on what universities can charge people, depending on how much their income is, in order to help lower income class people to get better education. All right, guys, when y'all listen to this, I want you to go down to the bottom of the comments and give me an idea what the government can do to try to lower the cost of colleges. I want to thank everybody for coming. Hope everybody enjoyed it. If they didn't, I don't know what to tell you. Please hit like and subscribe at the bottom. Peace.